Happy New Year's, everyone. Welcome to 2020. We've made it. Now, as per request of the subscriber, I'm going to give you guys the Odd Eyes build for Odd Eyes Pendulum for Odd Eyes Endymion Guardragon. Deck is real good, and it covers a lot of things that you'd be surprised. It is tier 1, yes. No, tier 2. I'll say tier 2, not tier 1. The reason why it has consistency issues, you're playing a lot of high level monsters, you don't necessarily have to draw a hand where you're able to make Electromite before you pendulum someone. It doesn't always happen. So it's less consistent than Endymion or Magicians. So that's why you'd prefer playing one of those. But this deck is still good. You're still able to bring it, example, to our locals and win. So let's go in. And this time we do require explanation because I know a lot of you won't be familiar with the deck. So first up, we have our first OG Odd Eyes. You just need one. A lot of persons you'll see play multiple. Don't follow them, they're bad. The card is a brick. You do not want to draw it in your opening hand, you want to search for it. And nothing else. You just want it to trigger off this card, which is Arc Pendulum Dragon. What it does is that anytime an Odd Eyes card on your field is destroyed, you get to special summon an Odd Eyes monster from your deck, hand, or graveyard. Cannot special summon from the extra deck, unfortunately. But yeah. So the Odd Eyes isn't there for anything else. So you don't really need to see a lot of it. And the good thing about the deck is that it floats with a lot of heavy beetles. Um, Moving on, I'll explain some other stuff, meta relevant stuff afterwards, if I remember. I do apologize. Next one up, Mirage Dragon. What it does for you is that it's a monster that can be normal summon. That is the Odd Eyes, meaning it's searchable. You can just find a monster. A lot of times you'll find yourself special summoning just one monster, but you have Sky Aris and you don't know any other monster to go for because majority of them is very high leveled. So this is a low level monster that can be summoned, and also it is a level 4 Lord Dragon, so it facilitates your Guard Dragon combos as well. And it's not a bad card. It's a scale 8. It's not bad. Moving on. Triple Persona Dragon. It's a free one card negate for an extra deck monster. Just negate. It doesn't destroy, unfortunately, but that would make it OP. It still cannot be chain blocked, so it's really good. Against the Sky Striker matchup, this card is a blowout because once you go through the one with the ankle, they can't do anything to you. As soon as they enter the battle phase, negate. You don't even have to wait till they go to the battle phase. You just have to see what they're doing. Because they only have one Kagari, and I don't believe they're going to waste it on this. And Kagari can't attack over this either because you'll just negate it. So they really can't do anything. And that wraps it up for the entire Odd Eyes engine. The reason why is that I'm not playing our Dissolver for the Fusion summon because I just don't need it. I'll summon Vortex in the standard way using the Guardragon combo because I still intend to play the Guardragon combo. So in other words, there's no point of making two Vortex. It's a hard once per turn effects on it. Then we play Triple Abductor and Triple Servant. They double up as basically the same card. It's playing basically 6 of 1 copy of the same card. Because this gives you a search, this gives you a special summon. Now the real fun thing in the deck is that these two will always be live once you draw any of them. All spell cards in your deck either searches for spell cards or gets you spell cards in another way. So they will always be active as long as you drew even one spell. So that's really good. So they will always be live once you draw them. Then we play 2 Big Daddy Endymion. Endymion is just really good. Free negate, bounce back to the hand. So if in the event I needed a low scale, can always get it back to the hand. Endymion is just a blowout against Sky Striker decks. And it's just a free negate that you're able to search off your your spell power of mastery. In the event that you don't need anything to actually search for, you just go for this and special summon it and your opponent has a bad day. And of course we have to play the one Jackal King, as he's the cure to our kryptonite called Nibiru. He's there for that sole reason and sole reason alone. Also he's a level 6, which is necessary to do our combos. Now, after that, we just play Chrono as a turbo card. We didn't bother with Curtain Raiser. The reason why not Curtain Raiser is because his skill is too low, it's 7. So in the event that I have to depend on it, I wouldn't be able to summon majority of my big monsters. So I can't work with him in the deck. Chrono is real good. I don't really think I need to explain it much. Last up for your last Pendulum monsters, 2 Dark Worm and 1 Gate 0. I really cut this down because you just don't need it to be hard drawn. You need to send it to the graveyard to get the free special summon. You don't want to draw it. And Gate 0 is Gate 0. Real good. So you'll know that you have standard low skills for the deck. You'll have either Abductor, Servant, or Gate 0. You don't intend to put anything else in the low scale. And for your Guardragon combos, just these two, Tempest and Destrudo. The thing is with Tempest, alright, let me show you guys. I really wanted to feature this card. I do apologize, but it just doesn't have the synergy that I need it to be with the deck. The reason why is with Tempest, I'll end on Boral Savage. With Sparrow, I'll end on number 38. Now, even though 38 is good, it's not going to stop an evenly match to save my ass. So I have to play him, and it has more synergy with the deck. By playing this card is no longer a brick, because if I draw either one, I'm able to do the full combo, along with I'm not even required to search for my Ravine. So it's really good that I draw even one copy of either of them. Then to go to the spells, we have the field spells first. Let's go through that. Ravine, Citadel, and Sky Iris. Now, each of them has their own unique utility. Ravine is just a free card because you search for it mid-combo. Sky Iris, on the other hand, real good. And this is a good card. Now, I dropped another Sky Iris for this card. The reason why is just that Sky Iris, I'll just keep drawing it with Terraforming, all of them. I drew 2 copies of this with Terraforming constantly. So I learned my lesson to take it out. Now, Sky Iris, most persons would think, what is my complaint? I can always just destroy a card in my hand and take a search. No. Sky Iris doesn't work like that. Most persons think of the true Draco spell when they're thinking of this. Sky Iris has to pop a card on the field, face up. So if I constantly draw field spells, I'm in a really bad position because of this. So it can get bricky. So I only play 1 because I was bricking with it. And of course 1 Terraforming to go with all of this. And the Citadel, of course, works very good with your Abductor. Just by drawing the Mastery with Abductor, you can basically put up 5 negates, 4 negates constantly. Then we have triple Sparrow Flame. It's a 2-in-1 effect. You can either search for an odd-eyes monster or pop a card on the field. Simple as that. So it can get you into your odd eyes, which will count as a spell. And of course you play with 2 Duelist Alliance to also search for your odd eyes. So by this time, I've already gone through 9 ways to search out your Arc Dragon. 9 ways. So in the event that you are dueling, you should always have this. And you're going to need it as well. Then the other search card is Spell Puff Mastery. Mastery is really good because it searches for either any of your Endymion cards or it just puts on free spell counters. Either is good. It's never in a bad position, just don't want to see multiples in my hand. And speaking of multiples, that is why I cut 1 Dragon Shrine. Kept drawing 2 and it become a dead card. I really want to see with just 1 and I'm completed. Now the deck would have ended there at 40, but I decided on playing 43 cards. This is the first time I'm going to play over 40 cards, just to make space for the triple Allure. The Allure is not bad. Seeing it is actually really good. It's just that there is no other way to reduce the amount of cards in my deck. I have to play it like this. And let's go through the extra deck. The extra deck is real nice. And with the new master rule, it's really fun. The thing is with pendulums, I don't see why they had to be so harsh. At least let us pendulum someone 1 to the main monster zone. I think that would have been balanced. Instead of only to the link zone and or to the extra monster zone. That's just bullshit. Let us someone at least 1 back to the main monster zone and 1 to the extra monster zone. That would have been very balanced, very fair. But I digress. It's not like it can be changed now. So first of all, we have for the Fusion Vortex, you only need 1. You can play 2, but if you're going to play 2, you're going to be required to play the Dissolver. If you play it and decide to fusion summon it correctly, remember that your Arc Pendulum Dragon can bring it back constantly, which is really difficult for your opponent to deal with because it's bouncing back a card and it's a negate and they kill it and it comes back, bounce back a card. So it's really good in that regard. Then we have for the Synchros, in the event we're not able to make our Borrel, we make either one of these. If I'm going against a spell or trap heavy deck, Dragstore. If I'm not, any monster based deck, Quantum. And it's just as simple as that. Now the Quantum doubles up real good with Heliopolis because most persons, as soon as they see Heliopolis on the field, their first instinct is to attack it because it has 0 attack to force me to use the effect. So this doesn't allow that. So they would have to run up into this and it's going to bounce back the monster to the hand. So the second attack would have to hurt me. And remember, while it's on the field, they can't target any of my monsters except for it. Moving on. Exceed. Absolute, Flare, and Big Eye. Real good stuff. Absolute is standard. Flare is just like your main way of dealing burn damage, and if your opponent, I don't know, for some reason lives on OTK. I don't know. I've never had an opponent live on OTK from this deck. Because it's always a tremendous amount of damage, like 16,000 being pushed towards them. And I mean, I'm going through their field while doing this, so it's just really hard for me to vision them living. But this is here in the event they live. And also, it's your way to win a duel in the event time is called. Because you're going to burn out their life points. Big Eye is Big Eye. It's just real good. And there are times when my opponent tries to OTK him with Borrel Sword. And they just leave it carelessly on the field because they fail to OTK. And you just end up taking it and just hitting them back with it. It's ridiculous. I know. Moving on. The Guardragon. This is the Guardragon package. I know we have LP, Triple Burst, Romulus, and Heliopolis. I'm not playing Pisted, not because I don't want to. I think Pisted is actually real good. It's just that it's really hard to find space in here because almost everything I'm playing here is mandatory. Moving on, for the generics, we have Electromite and my ex-girlfriend. And then we have the Borrels. Now, the most expendable card in the extra deck is the Borrel Load, because it doesn't do that much. It's literally only there for the TD matchup, and even then, it doesn't always resort to him, because if I go first, it's a blowout. If I go second, it's really, really hard to beat TDs. It's nearly impossible with this deck, and that's why I don't advise you to play it on a competitive level, because I play so many search cards. Almost all my spells were search cards. So it's really hard to play against that deck. It's not unwinnable, but you don't want to be placed in a position where it's really hard for you to win. Like, TDs are the deck kryptonite. I just want to give a special mention. You can play this card if you don't have access to Borrel Savage, because I know someone was saying they don't have Borrel Savage, what should they do? This is really cheap. This is literally a common card, even though it's short print, you should be able to get one. This is real cheap as well. For any combo, what you would do instead of playing Tempest, you'd play this. This is the better card. It's just that Tempest has better synergy with this deck. So this is why I play Tempest. All it does is that if I have 2 dragon monsters, just summon it back. Might not seem like a lot, but it can make every single monster I control become a level 8. Tada. Now, you might be like, what's the advantage to this? 1, super poly. They don't super poly you. 2, everybody, as I said, once they see Heliopolis, the first instinct is to attack to force me to use the effect. They can't do that while this is on the field, because the first thing I'm going to do is run it into this. And because this card goes to the grave and can be summoned back again, you could summon another one of these. So it really piles up real quick. It's a very good card. It's just, as I said, doesn't have great synergy because it's a level 8. If it was level 7, oh my god, it would be so good. But yeah, that's what, it just is what it is. Also, the drawback that I don't like is that it doesn't dodge monster effects. So you find yourself playing against a Thunder Dragon player, and they just easily just cross it. because it doesn't stop monsters. And evenly matched, it doesn't stop evenly matched. So this is the real reason why I don't play this. Because Boreal Savage does stop them. So you should play Savage. I can give you guys a few opinions on certain things. Example, the ban list. My opinion on the ban list is that I don't really care. Konami is going to do what Konami wants. You're not going to get a balanced list. You're not going to get what you want. You're not going to get what you think should happen. You're going to get what Konami does. No gray area. So, yeah. As it relates to the ban list, that's just what it has to be. If there's anything I would like to see personally, is that I would like to see True Draco Face Off going back to 2, so I can play it. I do have them. I have the entire engine, I just don't play it. I'd like to see Kirin come back. Kirin, to me, in my opinion, is the perfect time for it to come back. It's harmless. Like, what can Kirin do right now? Like, just one Kaiju, one Sphere Mode, Nibiru. It doesn't even help you against Nibiru. Like, Kirin isn't that serious as it used to be. There are a lot of ways to deal with it. Dark Ruler no more. The list goes on and on. Kirin is just not that powerful anymore. In my opinion, a lot of things could happen. And as it relates to the Master Rule, it's not a big deal. We're technically at a disadvantage by playing Pendulums, because it's the only one that you can't summon to the main monster zone that way. But once you make any Link monster, you're good as gold. Because you're just going to make your Link monster one side, Fusion Synchro Xyz next side. And you'll be able to do all of them. It won't affect you. So, yeah. I'll post up some combo videos later on to show you guys especially how this card works. It's really simple. And that's it. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'm out. Peace. Have a great day.